20 minutes played here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Still the score 1-0. Thoroughly entertaining contest here. Joe Guest standing over this corner. Ball whipped into the near post. Edwards nodding it away. No goals in the other games between Port Melbourne and South Melbourne and Preston Hume.
Gee, you wouldn't want to run into Edwards, would you? He's a bustling guy on that left-hand side.
And I'll tell you what, he's been a great signing for them, with Blake Carpenter being unavailable today, who has been the nominal choice at left-back for such a long time. Daniel Edwards has fit in brilliantly since coming across from Port Melbourne Sharks. Here's Cam McGilp. Got to say it, it's great to have NPL Victoria football back. It's a brilliant crowd out here today, as Valentini and McGilp with a bit of afters after that one. And in the meantime, though, Oakleigh are breaking as Dench looking to get in behind. Does chase it down, flicks it back towards Joe Guest. Brought under his control, but Luca Tavia got a foot in. McGilp playing it over the top. Guest goes to ground inside the box. Ross Clark waving it away. Dench still going. Towns hoofing it clear, and now George Ott bringing under his spell. And now Tavir. Raking ball out towards Stefan Zinni. Boyce does win the header, but bit of a coming together there between former teammates Valentini and McGilp. Ed, how'd you see that one?
Well, it looked like McGilp was running back, chasing after Valentini with a smile on his face. Whether that was it, and a yellow card there shown, I believe, to Stefan Valentini for the tackle. And as I was saying, McGilp running back with a smile on his face, maybe just going, okay, good, here we go. Something's happening here. And then Joe Guest, I think, going down far too easily in the box. Referee doing well to wave that one away. But again, shows the intensity of this fixture, Nick Mann. We see it every year. There's always something going on.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the NPL Victoria YouTube. We apologise for the early technical difficulties, but if you've stuck around, thank you very much, or just joining us for the first time, it is Avondale in the lead, thanks to a Luca Tavir goal. Nick Tabano and Ed Gooden here at Jack Edwards Reserve. A beautiful night for football. Round one action, this semi-final rematch. The Oakleigh Cannons in their home navy blue kits kicking from right to left, and Avondale in their away white kits going from left to right.
Really enjoying the Oakleigh kit this year, Nick.
It is a beautiful kit.
It's great blue.
It's very Team Victoria almost, you know?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Avondale in the classic white.
I don't know if you've seen Avondale's home blue kits, but they are also quite clean this year.
Are they a
nice
darker
kits.
blue or a...
Nah, lighter shade.
Okay, fair.
It is a really, really nice kit. Was having a look at it just before coming into Jack Edwards Reserve today on their social pages. They do some great work on their socials through the Avondale Football Club.
The years they have. I believe they had a radio show back in the day that was pretty good.
Of course, by the name of Avenger Radio. As George Ott looking to flick it through. Tratt chasing it down. Here's Sinclair. Osmore getting across and putting the ball out into touch, and it's going to be a throw in there to the Avengers.
We had a young man come up to us, Nick Man, before the stream started, just asking a few questions about the technical side of things. An up-and-coming YouTuber, Alexander Cool Pro.
Yes, of course, branding his Kylian Mbappe kit. Valentini across the face towards Zini, comes out to the back post, Trycheski chasing it down, shoots off the crossbar, and McGilp clears it out for a corner. And what a great opportunity there for Christian Trycheski to double the Avengers lead. And Oakleigh living dangerously a little bit here, but both teams have really had their chances in the early going.
Yeah, it's the second or third time we've seen that exact chance, Nick Man, flying down the right-hand side with a low ball. That is just a nightmare for the defenders to deal with. And then Trycheski, he had to go high as he knew there were players back on the line. So not as easy a finish as it might have looked.
Ball whipped into the area. Bryce got ahead to it. Comes down to Zinni, and it's cleared off the line by Holmes. Kamara got ahead to it. Back across the face, and Holmes clears it away again. And Ed, it just seems like every time Avondale go forward, they look like scoring.
They look a bit tetchy here in defence, Oakleigh, and looks like somebody is down.
I think that
for
might
Avondale
be
there.
Kalu Kamara, who's had some injury problems over the last couple of years, and the last thing Avondale need is injuries, because this team has been plagued by injuries, especially last season.
It has been a trend at Avondale, unfortunately, to assemble an unbelievable squad and then lose a seemingly unconscionable amount of people to injury.
Well, Ed, I want to go back to your early point about the low crosses. I wonder if that's been a bit of a tactic employed by Zoki Markovski, given the height of Jacob Tratt and Jordan Hall, and given how they just sweep up everything in the air. Maybe playing low, looking to try and change things up a little bit. And it is working.
It certainly is. There's just so much space on the right-hand side. You do have to ask the question, do you overload that and see if you can send some people down the left? Maybe that offers a different threat.
Well, having Wellsmore and Valentini constantly putting the pressure on that left-hand side of Oakleigh, it's a brilliant tandem.
Seen a lot of Stefan Valentini down this right-hand side. I believe he was the one who played the ball in, so it's not an easy decision, though, for Oakleigh to make, to go, okay, maybe let's favour the left, because then you've got Stefan Zini to deal with, who we haven't seen a huge amount of.
Well, we had a great chance just before, but you get the sense he's a player that doesn't need too many chances there, because he can score at will. Of course, last season scored 13 goals in the league. He's their top goal scorer. Wellsmore looking to play it forward. Good to see Kalu Kamara has recovered and he's back on the pitch. Here's Towns. Avondale do have Matty Reid on the bench in case Kamara wasn't able to continue, but on behold that Zoki Markovski can hold on to that substitution just for now. 27.5 minutes played here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Of course, we apologise yet again for all the early technical difficulties, but Luca Tavir with the opening goal on debut for Avondale. A beautiful finish past Nick Feely at it. You know, in those moments when the keeper's out rushing, you have to have so much precision just to be able to knock it past the keeper, and Tavir did that superbly. As Wellsmore breaking forward, goes to ground, no foul. Jacob Tratt with the collision, clears it away. Here's Guest, Kasumovic back towards Guest, and struggling to get Asar Kasumovic into the game early here, Ed.
I don't think he's really had a meaningful touch here, Nick, man. It's not necessarily his fault. We know he's a quality player, but...
Well, it looks like there's another injury here, and it
might be Wellsmore.
For the Oakleigh Cannons, no, it's...
No. Kingsley Sinclair.
Here's Kingsley Sinclair, who has gone aground here. Oakleigh already without Alex Salmon and Pierce Waring, two of their attacking options. They do have Adam Doradovic, who's the most nominal attacking option. He is more of a number 9. Kasumovic could slide out wide if Kingsley Sinclair can't continue. They do have Luke Mensink and Harry Arneson, who of course is one of their new signings as well. Harry Arneson, who had spent some time most recently playing over in Wales and Northern Ireland. Was playing for a team, I believe, if I'm saying this correctly, Aberystwyth town in Wales.
Knowing Welsh, which I know so little of, I can almost guarantee that we won't be able to pronounce that right, no matter what. Because maybe I don't think the Y and the S in the team mean what it means to us.
Very interesting. There is a bit of a Welsh flavour now in NPL Victoria we've seen over the years with Lloyd Isgrove and Jamie Latham and, of course, Craig Filer, the assistant coach at Green Gully. He's Green Gully in action tomorrow night against Dandy Thunder at George Andrews Reserve. Manos's clearance is charged down there by Joe Guest. And this press we saw earlier, Ed, it caused Avondale problems. And here they are again looking to put the pressure on. But Avondale have worked their way through that initial line quite well, but they do give away the throw-in. Of course, as well, on the bench is Ajak Dayu and Roy Gregory and Lockie Hart, who's back at the club as the backup goalkeeper to Nick Feely this year. Saw a lot of action in 2023, did Lockie Hart, when Nick Feely missed some time. Ott, good battle there with Jacob Tratt. George Ott, formerly of the Wellington Phoenix, Ed, used to play in the A-League a few years ago before joining Melbourne Knights and having a brief stint at St Albans as well. settled into life here in Victoria over the last few years. Knowles looking to get forward. Well played there by Edwards. Avondale looking to break back the other way. This pass is a bit heavy. Past Trycheski and Guest gets across. Here's Sinclair. Putting the burners on. Gets past Tavir. One-on-one here with Wellsmore. Well played there by Sinclair. And it's a good battle, and Wellsmore did very well to win back possession. And Tavir helps out, and now they can go. Big collision there. McGilp did well to keep possession. Here's Holmes. Knowles floating it into the area for Kasumovic, but Bryce got across to clear it away, but that clearance there by Trycheski is right back into the path of Sinclair. McGilp. Guest back to McGilp in a crossing position. Takes a deflection, and it's out for a corner.
McGilp gets on the ball. Nick, things just changed for Oakleigh. He's just got such quality. Obviously got a lot of chemistry there with Joe Guest to play that nice little 1-2. It's just really that final third bit of intensity that they're lacking a little bit, I think, for Oakleigh.
Chris Taylor as pensive as ever inside his box on the opposite side. Still getting used to the dugouts being on this side of the ground due to the construction at the moment, Ed. Of course, they used to be on the opposite side. Ball whipped in and straight into the arms of Thomas Manos. Of course, with all the construction, no more commentary turret on the opposite side. The bench is now on this side as well. Everything's just in reverse.
It's nice to be in amongst the fans there, Nick.
Absolutely.
Hope you're enjoying the atmos back at home.
Absolutely. It is pumping inside the grandstand here at Jack Edwards Reserve. And as you can see on the opposite side, the new grandstand currently being developed on that opposite side. And as you said, Ed, earlier in the broadcast, it has come a long way very quickly. So hopefully we'll see it in action sooner rather than later. Having seen the concept art, it looks very nice.
Are we
on the way in?
Standing at the top with our microphones?
We're unfortunately not in the concept art. We weren't part of the pitch to council. Sinclair. Ball turned over. Towns. Well played by Yite Towns.
Oh.
It's past McGill. Goes to ground. It's a free kick there to Avondale.
Game just come to a little bit of a standstill here, Nick.
Yep.
We're getting towards close to the end of the first half, 33 minutes in. But again, if you are just joining us, it was a rambunctious start. Both teams kind of unable to lock down the ball. Now you're seeing kind of equal possession, but it was red hot from the beginning.
Here's Towns. Big collision there with Holmes. Comes out here to Luca Tavir. Goes for goal again. Tavir saved by Feely. Zinni brings under control and Track clears it away.
Zinni getting on the ball there, Nick. Looks like Valentini is headed over to the left-hand side.
Maybe trying to get Zinni into the game a bit, Ed, by swapping flanks. Ball flicked over the top towards Trycheski. Just wide of the post. And those little dig balls over the top, Ed. I mean, it was a longer raking ball which set up the goal, but those two, Trycheski and Tavir, just buzzing around at the feet of Ott. They're causing all sorts of problems.
You just would not want to be Nick Feely when those balls are coming over. Nick Feely is a phenomenal goalkeeper. But there's not much anyone can really do about those balls, because it's either you stick your head in and you get your head knocked off, or you give away a penalty, or you break your fingers, or you just hope the other player misses.
The life of being a goalkeeper, Ed. Tavir. Boyce won the header, and strong challenge by Knowles, and it's out of bounds for a throw-in for Avondale. These two sides played each other 3 times last year, Ed. Oakleigh, of course, won the most recent meeting, that 3-0 semi-final win at Avenger Park. 3-3 draw at Avenger Park during the season, and Avondale winning at this very ground 2-1 in the first meeting between these two sides. Zinni flicking it over the top towards Trycheski. There's a bit of a tug of the shirt there by Dench, but no free kick. Referee waves play on. Trycheski asking, where's the call? Oh, almost a bit of a near collision there between Kamara and Kasumovic, and it's out of bounds for a throw-in.
The overall record for these teams, Nick Mann, Avondale have won 8, drawn 5, Oakleigh have won 10.
So Oakleigh just edging ahead in the head-to-head. But as we know, Ed, these two teams, when they do take the field, There's always fireworks. There's always an exciting game of footy. We're getting that so far today. And these two sides, of course, the last two teams in Victoria to hold aloft the championship, Oakleigh in 2022 and 2024, Avondale in 2023. Beating South Melbourne on all three of those occasions, both Oakleigh and Avondale.
They've made 3 grand finals and lost 3.
Yeah, correct. Of course, Avondale winning the 2023 premiership as well. What a silverware between these two teams over the last few years. As Zinni's ball looking for George Ott. A big opportunity there for Ott, who just had to scoop it out of the air. I don't think he was really expecting that because there was a bit of confusion between Hall and Tratt.
He went into the cutlery draw, Nick Mann, and he went for something else, but he got a scoop instead. He was not expecting that at all.
Well,
but you could see immediately the tactics for Oakleigh and how they're pressing. As soon as Manos gets the ball, they are running straight at them. It came off there for Avondale, in a sense they're able to get an opportunity. But as soon as that happens, Thomas Manos stepping on the ball, Oakleigh are swarming.
Well, so far, I mean, that press has worked. I mean, despite them not being able to make a count on the scoreboard, we saw early doors that Joe Guest missed a great opportunity due to that press, winning back possession in a very dangerous area. Here's Knowles. Back out wide there, and the flag is up. And offside is called. That was on Brodie Boyce, who was bombing forward from right back. You have a reliable Brodie Boyce, Ed. He's in his 3rd year now at Oakleigh. He's plays just about every position along that back four, wherever they need him. He's a plug-and-place player. As we know, can either play mainly as a centre-back, but he's been playing a bit more as a right-back since the arrival of Hall and Tratt, and he's done it brilliantly since coming across.
Well, he's played a lot of minutes, Nick Mann, in recent years. Almost 2,500 last year.
Well, he barely misses a game. He's basically one of the first names on the team sheet every week. Very durable player. And as we know with Chris Taylor's sides, Ed, he doesn't like to chop and change things too much. Here's Sinclair bombing forward down the left. Playing it centrally, and again, Aidan Bryce getting across. The Nova Coastrian doing very well as Tavir looking for Zinni, as Feely coming out and clearing that at one away.
That is a ball on the roof, I think. New ball provider this year, Nick Mann.
Yes.
Did you know that?
I did see that today.
Yeah, no more mitre. Those balls were hard, weren't they?
They were.
They
rocks.
They weren't good.
Nick Feely, of course, in his 100th Oakleigh appearance, League and Cup. Ott. Ball is almost turned over, but Luca Tavir charging to win back possession. Nick Feely, of course, spent some time at Celtic, as well Perth Glories, but he's been here at the Cannons now for quite a few years. He's established himself as the number one, and he's had some heroics at this very venue. Cast your mind back to the 2022 elimination final, Ed, on penalties against Heidelberg. He came up and made some huge stops in the shootout. But what makes that even more impressive was he did it with a bad hip.
Wow.
Which ultimately sidelined him. And I tell you what, it goes down in Oakleigh folklore.
The flu game, the hip game.
It was the hip game for Nick Feely. Probably his best game, most memorable game in between the sticks for the Oakleigh Cannons.
It's a different breed when you see a goalkeeper with the short sleeves and the shorts as well, I feel like. A lot more common these days.
Well, both him and Thomas Manos are donning the T-shirt and shorts.
That's what I was talking about, actually, before that Luca Tavir goal. Is the weather is strange. You will see someone wearing every bit of attire tonight.
Well, it's turned over here. We'll come back to the weather in just a sec as Sinclair out to Guest, floats it in towards the back post. Knowles is waiting for it. Edwards got to head to it.
Because what are you in? You're in a shirt and jeans.
Yeah, I mean, cargo's in a T-shirt, but it is weirdly warm, but also not overly warm. I think it's just pleasant.
The people with bad body heat regulation are being shown up tonight.
Yes, they are.
You cannot hide.
They are. Because it is deceivingly warm.
Perfect conditions for football. No breeze.
Yeah.
Lovely.
As we said, Ed, early in the broadcast, enjoy it while it lasts. As Guest in towards the near post. He's out towards, was Hall waiting for it, but McGilp couldn't spray that ball to his teammate. It's out for a throw-in. But, you know, Ed, early doors in the NPL season, when it is in the summer months and in the autumn months as well, you want to be able to make sure you're getting out to your respective NPL Victoria or VPL venue.
Especially with daylight savings still rocking.
Absolutely.
I don't want to get too political, but I love daylight savings. You can catch a game, you know, with the sun setting.
Yeah, as we had early doors in this one. There'll be a bit more of that this weekend. As now Zinni looking to break forward. Opportunity here for the Avengers. Zinni fires from range and Feely got a hand to it. That's out for a corner. Playing it safe there, Nick Feely, and not taking any chances and putting it behind for the corner.
Tough to tell from this angle where that was going, but Feely doing well to parry that behind instead of parrying into an encroaching Avondale player.
A few minutes before the half-time interval, Avondale would love to go into the break with a 2-goal advantage. A slip there when the corner was taken, but Ott got ahead to it. And it comes out to Bryce, who pops it back into the area looking for Ott to get his head to it, and Sinclair nods it away. Here's Zinni. Big collision there with Boyce. There's now Tavir outside of the foot cross looking for Ott. Comes down to Valentini. Not a bad effort there from Stefan Valentini. Set up perfectly for him, but he had to manoeuvre his body to get in the right position, but just wide of the post. But outside of the foot Travella cross there from Luca Tavira, channeling his inner Ricardo Quaresma with that one.
Oh, you know Ricardo Quaresma has a son.
Really?
Called Ricardo Quaresma.
Wow.
And he loves an outside of the foot shot. There's a video on YouTube of him hitting it.
So Ricardo Quaresma Jr.
Yeah, it shows we're getting old, actually, Nick.
What a player he was indeed. Knowles looking for Kasumovic. Bryce sending it long. Still 1-0 here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Luca Tavir's goal, the difference between the two sides here. You get the sense there's plenty more twists and turns in this contest. Tratt. Guest looking to flick it through. Bit of trickery there from Emblem Wellsmore. Gutsy play, but communication now of Yite Towns as Manos under pressure again there from Guest. And as you spoke about, Ed, the press was there again, but Tibal to avoid the first line as Valentini loses possession. He wanted the foul, but again, Ross Clark playing play on, and McGilp wins the free kick there. But Ross Clark letting things go a little bit tonight. Sinclair. It's the run of Dench. Whips it in. It's not a bad ball looking for Knowles. Edwards got his head to it. Knowles chasing it down. Whips it into the area looking for Kasumovic. Comes out to the back post and Wellsmore clears it out for a throw-in. So an update from around the ground. South Melbourne in the lead 1-0 against Port Melbourne. A goal from Max Mickler and a red carded for Port Melbourne.
Yeah, we're just getting word on who the red card was for. Preston and Hume locked at 0-0. And of course 1-0 here with a goal from Luca Tavir. And apologies for the technical issues, but...
Yep. Knowles skipping past Trycheski. Goes to ground inside the box. Again, no calls from Ross Clark. There was some protests there from the Avondale players. But now they can break back the other way. Trycheski's pass was just behind his teammate Yite Towns. And now Oakleigh can break again. Guest. He went to ground, but Ross Clark plays play on. Kasumovic. That's out of bounds. It's not coming back for the free kick, but it was a heavy challenge there on the Englishman. It looks like we're going to get 3 minutes of added time here. Still enough time for either side to hit the scoreboard before the break, particularly the Cannons, who are doing a bit of the attacking at the moment.
This would be a huge boost.
Absolutely.
Three minutes of out of time, I believe that
Yep.
was, Nick Man.
As we know, Ed, Oakleigh have a fantastic home record. I think they lost twice here last year. Avondale was one of them. Take a guess who the other side was that defeated them. Have a bit of a think. We'll have the corner play out first, but the ball whipped into a dangerous area, and Manos again collecting, easy as you like there, from the Avondale shot stopper.
Moreland.
No. Dandenong City.
Oh, wow.
Dandy City winning on King's birthday. Oakleigh had the second best home record, but by the same token, Avondale had the second best road record. Identical win-loss draw records between the two teams for home and away. I'll tell you what that is in just a sec, what I mean by identical, because I feel like I need to elaborate a little bit on that one. Ball is whipped in. Kasumovic brings it under control. Still going here, the South Australian. Back out to Boyce. Here's Holmes. Plays it in first time. Sinclair waiting at the back post. Wellsmore got to head to it again. He's been everywhere at the moment, Emlyn Wellsmore. Dench. McGilp. Guest. Back for Matty Dench. Plays it along the deck, and Yite Towns was there to meet it. Not cleared entirely. Bryce just hoofs it into the night sky. And it's out for a throw-in. So what I meant by that is Oakleigh's home form last year, 9 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 29 points. Avondale's away form, 9 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 29 points.
And it was goal difference.
Goal difference for Oakleigh, plus 18, Avondale plus 20. So only 2 goals separating.
Wow.
And of course, when these two sides met in the finals, we all know what happened at Avenger Park. It was Oakleigh who ran rampant with that 3-0 win. Really upsetting the apple cart on that day. A lot of people having Avondale as their favourites to go on and win that game. But Oakleigh coming from third in both years, Ed, that they've won the championship from outside the top 2 to win it. So going the long way and getting it done, it seems like that is the Cannons' way. And in both those years, Ed, another fun fact to throw in when they've won the championship, their Australia Cup runs both ended on those occasions by MacArthur, who went on to win the Australia Cup in both those years as well.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
That's the end of the first half here at Jack Edwards Reserve. And it's Avondale leading 1-0 thanks to a goal from Luca Tavir. A thoroughly entertaining first half, though, Ed. Plenty of chances at both ends. But your thoughts on the first 45 here?
Well, as you said, great first half. Again, apologies for the technical issues. You didn't catch the first 10 to 15 minutes. Rambunctious end-to-end football, both sides struggling to stay on the ball. But it felt like Avondale just settled in a little bit. That goal kind of coming out of nothing, just from a long ball over the top. Luca Tavir showing his quality, slotting it away. Oakleigh able to get back on top slightly, maybe just level the playing field, but lacking a bit of edge in the final third.
We'll be back in around 15 minutes' time for the second half. Plenty more action on the other side of this. You won't want to go anywhere. It's set to be a huge final 45 here at Jack Edwards Reserve. The score here, Oakleigh Cannons 0, Avondale 1. Welcome back to Jack Edwards Reserve for this Round 1 NPL Men's Victoria fixture between the Oakleigh Cannons and Avondale. It's a semi-final rematch to kick off the new year for both of these two teams in the league. Nick Tabano and Ed Gooden here taking you through all the action. The Avengers leading 1-0 thanks to Luca Tavir. It's a very thoroughly entertaining first half, and just having a look over at the Avondale bench and potentially a substitute in the offing, and it looks like it is Manny Agwek who is about to come on for his re-debut, if that's the right way to put it, since returning to Avondale after a stint playing for Bolzan. He's getting a handshake there with head coach Zoki Markovski as he gets ready to re-enter the pitch, as we'll have a look at the fourth officials board to confirm who is coming off. But having a look on the pitch at a glance, Ed, it does look like it is George Ott that is coming off.
Interesting substitution. I think George Ott, you mentioned during the first half, Nick Man, a bit more of a target man, maybe not offering too much in the counter-attack with the fluid style of play. Manny Agwek, we know what he's about. We know the danger that he possesses going forward.
Well, they are certainly a lot more quicker with Agwek leading the line. Agwek had a brilliant 2023 season for the half season he was here. Now, he scored 13 goals in 38 appearances for Avondale prior to leaving. But in one of those games, which actually isn't part of these 13 goals, that's just league appearances, in 2023, he scored a haul of 9 goals in a single Australia Cup fixture against Diamond Valley.
In one game?
In one game. He scored 9 goals.
What was the final score?
I've actually forgotten exactly, but it was a big score.
More than,
like yes.
Maybe more than 9.
Yes. It was certainly in double digits. But
wow.
Nonetheless, Avondale did win that game big, and Manny Agwek scored 9, but his form for Avondale put him on the radar of some European sides, and he ended up signing for Bolzan in Malta. A few NPL Victoria players have made the move over to Malta. Of course, Heidelberg goalkeeper Yaron Souza, of course, spent some time there. Emmanuel Peters as well, who's now at St Albans. Here's Joe Guest. Some space on the left, cutting it back in board, and it comes into Kasumovic! What a start to the second half for the home side. Asar Kasumovic off the mark. A beautiful team goal. And the South Australian is off the mark, and we're level in the early going in this second half, Ed.
Barely 2 minutes in here, Nick Man, and what a fantastic goal. Kasumovic didn't have much of an impact in that first half. Struggling to get on the ball. Maybe the playing style didn't quite suit what he was looking for, but classic Oakleigh, spearheaded by Joe Guest. You could see the intricacy in his play. He could have blazed away and played the ball first time, but he looks inside, and Kasumovic on the end of the next ball, and a fantastic finish into the bottom left-hand corner.
Cool as you like. Arrowed into the bottom corner, and Asar Kasumovic, who had a bit of a quiet first half, getting involved early. 4 goals in his first season for Oakleigh last year. Did score in the Australia Cup against Sydney FC as well. Had a really impressive showing here against St Albans, where he scored half of his league goal, scored a brace in that game. And he's a real talent, formerly of Adelaide United. Part of that just farm of talent that come out of the city of Churches. Of course, part of that group that includes some very familiar names. One, Nestor Irankunda, was his former teammate. Full signing for the Oakleigh Cannons at the start of last season. He's got the opportunity to lead the line tonight with Alex Salmon out injured. A chance for him to stake his claim early doors. This game is well and truly alive. Let's have a look now on the far side. The tradies are out in the cherry picker, maybe getting a bit of a vantage point, or maybe doing some late night works. It reminds me, I don't know if you remember this, Ed, but when GMHBA Stadium was doing some renovations, and there used to be a few tradies that used to sit in the construction end, they'd retrieve the balls when it would end up down there after a goal was kicked.
I'm wondering, I'm not familiar with construction, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but they seem to be lowering the cherry pickers. Maybe they saw them on the stream and went, how'd we get down when we were up there when we had them up? And they went, maybe that looks a bit suspicious. So
there's a few more than
back down.
A few more that are still up. So I wonder if they're going to stay up overnight.
Are they allowed to be up like that?
That's a good question. Maybe that's one for the viewers to answer. Anyways, play continues. Oakleigh 1, Avondale 1 as Kalaloo Kamara bursting forward from defence. Towns under immediate pressure there from Kasumovic. Got a bit of a pep in his step at the moment after scoring that equaliser. Trajczewski zigging and zagging and playing it centrally back towards Yite Towns. Still going here, Towns, and he goes for goal himself, and easy pickings there for Nick Feely, and looks to get play moving quickly. Here's Knowles. Tell you what, the halftime team talk from Chris Taylor has really got this Cannon side up and about, because they have come out of the blocks with plenty of energy.
This is just how it was at the start of the first half as well, Nick. The possession that they had was pretty dominant. Avondale weren't able to get on the ball, but as soon as that first goal went in, everything changed.
McGilp to Dench. Whips it into a dangerous area and is looking again for Kasumovic, but Bryce did well, and good touch there from the goal scorer Tavir, and now Avondale can break, and just on the same wavelength there as Zinni.
Zinni just checked his run a little bit there, Nick. Held back as he thought might have been caught in an offside trap.
God, hasn't Luca Tavir been dangerous today, Ed? It seems like whenever he's been able to break into space, it's like he's going to make something happen.
Midfield combination, Trajczewski. They're not the biggest duo to have in your midfield, so that is maybe why we're seeing McGilp and Holmes having some dominance physically, but in the counter-attack and technically, they're just excellent.
They're so nimble. They're so nimble, just electric, buzzing around the feet, getting on those scraps, and so dangerous when they do break, as the ball over the top looking for Agwek. Is out of bounds for a throw-in.
Shows the quality of Yite Towns as well, Nick, because he's also not the most imposing figure physically, but his quality and his ability to press and read the play almost act as like a bit of a security guard for the two creative midfielders.
Well, he's, as you said, Ed, he's not the tallest of players. I mean, his deputy, Joey Katavian, who's been revolutionised as a number 6 after starting his career as a striker, is a lot more physically imposing, but Yite Towns, he covers so much ground, low centre of gravity as well, so he's very hard to knock off the ball, as we saw when he got forward earlier. And he's so technical, makes him a really, really dangerous player for opposition to deal with. Boyce, well played by Tavir.
Really keen to see what happens on this commentary side, Nick, with Joe Knowles and Edwards. Obviously, we know the quality that Joe Knowles has.
Edwards has really held his own against Joe Knowles in the early going.
As I said earlier, he's just really physically imposing. I don't think you're going to beat him necessarily and just bustle your way past him.
McGilp, brought down by Zinni. And a bit of afters there. McGilp he left maybe a little bit of a boot there on Zinni, or maybe just a bit of a tangle.
Been involved in a couple now.
Yeah.
Zinni and Valentini.
There's a bit of feeling in this one, of course. Avondale losing that semi-final against Oakleigh. As Guest floating it in towards Tratt at the back post. Kamara got a head to it. And the flag is up, and it's an offside against the Cannons, so no corner for the home side here.
Now, how big is this if Oakleigh can maybe sneak a win? Yeah, I say sneak a win. They are at home, and they're obviously a quality side. Without Alex Salmon.
Absolutely massive.
It'd be huge, wouldn't it?
Absolutely massive. His impact last year, 17 goals he scored. He scored over 70 in his time here in NPL Victoria.
It's a wild return.
He's been one of the best strikers we've had here in this competition for quite some time, the Englishman. And being able to find an avenue to goal, and they've got plenty of talent in that attacking half, but Alex Salmon is just on another level. He's really in that A-grade striker range in this competition. And Joe Guest obviously scored 13 goals last season, and we know his quality's on 49 goals, and if he does score today, it'll be his 50th. So keep an eye on that one.
Well, this game, Nick Mann, he's jumped to 8th all-time appearances for the Oakleigh Cannons, and by the end of the year, if I did my maths correct, he could be up to 5th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bryce with a raking ball out towards Valentini. So a bit of a birthday flavour to this one as well, Ed. 2 players on the field right now celebrating their birthdays tomorrow, so we'd love to get a bit of an early birthday present for them to go into the weekend. Cam McGilp and Manny Agwek.
Ah.
Cam McGilp turning 27 and Manny Agwek turning 25. Kasumovic. Good touch, but Bryce, again, he's so solid, Aiden Bryce. Very, very hard to beat. And he's shown it tonight.
You can see that's the moment there earlier in this half and early in the first half, Nick, where Oakleigh would have just won the ball back straight away.
Here's Kasumovic for Knowles. Boyce offering some support. It was a heavy touch, and Zinni goes to ground. Collision there with Towns, and now Avondale can break through Zinni. Plays it to Valentini. Cutting inside, Steph Valentini. Towns offering in support. Valentini skips past Holmes. Plays Towns. Back to Valentini. Good little interplay here between two Avengers, and it's turned over, and now Knowles looking to go back the other way. This game has really opened up. End-to-end stuff at the moment.
It just looks like, Nick, when Oakleigh are on and they're focused and they're ravaging for the football, there's no stopping them. It just seems like there's a little lack. Like you saw Kasumovic instigating the press there, but no one following. Like when they got the goal, everyone would have been there.
Absolutely. Here's Knowles across the face, looking for a player in the middle, and a key intervention. I think that was Emlyn Wellsmore, got a foot to it. And now Avondale can break. Feels like those low crosses for both teams that are causing all sorts of issues. Seem like the mantra is with the four tall centre backs, two for the respective teams. Go low.
I mean, when you've got a centre back running back towards his own goal, dangerous.
Do wonder if the coach just potentially looking to make another change and tinker things a little bit in search of the all-important go-ahead goal. Tavir. Trycheski a heavy touch, but it actually works out okay. Valentini. Strong challenge by Sinclair. Now Guest looking to kickstart the counter-attack. Well played from Wellsmore. Of course, Avondale already making that substitution with Manny Agwek on for George Ott, but still plenty of attacking calibre on their bench as well, with Kerr and Jackson Courtney Perkins on the bench. And of course, Joey Katabian, who is, as we said a little bit earlier, is a number 6 these days, but back in a few years ago, he was a goal machine at NPL level for Melbourne Victory's youth team. And started his time at Avondale as well as a number 9 before making that move to a number 6. Ball played through there from Edwards. Here's Agwek looking to get forward. Isolated here with Tratt. Skips around his man. Looking for Trycheski. Good first touch there from Trycheski. Looking to get it out from underneath him. And the shot's blocked there by Jordan Hall. But it's out for a corner. Nick Feely couldn't keep it alive. And the tricky feed of Trycheski causing problems there.
So power and the running of Agwek just draws players to him, and Trycheski got his way out of a pretty complex situation there, Nick, man, but just couldn't get the shot away. So Stefan Valentini maybe on that far side, copping a knock.
Yeah, perhaps. A bit laboured. Physio making his way off the pitch now as we go for this corner. Oakleigh 1, Avondale 1. Luka Tavir with the opener, but Asar Kasumovic equalising straight after the restart for this second half. Ball whipped in. Kamara couldn't get his head to it. Well played by Jacob Tratt. It was put on a platter for the Avondale centre-back. Ball whipped in by Tavir. Tratt got a head to it again. See how just imposing he is in the air. Everything that's up high, he's able to win. And the call coming to get up from the Oakleigh defenders. A risky one-on-one here. Boyce knocking it back to Feely.
That's actually an insane header.
Yeah.
Like, that's an insanely good header.
It had to be perfect there, because Stefan Zinni was nipping at the heels.
You can hear the voice. We're not quite sure who it is. Who's screaming this loud? If you can't hear it on the FX mic. It's an up when Thomas Manos is on the ball and they're needing to instigate the press. But then when they're on the ball themselves, it's hold.
Yeah.
So once Oakleigh get on the ball, they're comfortable just sitting. They're not looking to play quick. They're okay counter-attacking.
Well, the thing is, it could be any one of those defenders, really, because there's so much experience back there.
Yeah.
It does sound like you think, okay, who's the grizzled vet yelling that? But they're all got so much experience in their own right between, especially that spine between Tratt, Hall, and Feely. I think it actually might be Nick Feely.
Is it?
I'm not sure. I thought it might have been. I was trying to read lips, but unfortunately from here, couldn't tell.
I think it's Jacob Tratt. on that left-hand side.
It wouldn't be surprising. A bucket load of experience, Jacob Tratt. 82 A-League appearances. Played for a number of A-League clubs, Ed.
Who were those games for?
Sydney FC, Adelaide United, Wellington Phoenix, Perth Glory and Western United.
Holy hell.
Ball whipped into the area looking for Kasumovic. Good touch there from Edwards to bring it under his spell. Agwek, and now Tavir goes to ground. It's a free kick against Noah Holmes, and Tavir was on his way. So
I was just about to say that the referee's done well to keep the cards in his pocket for as long as he had. That was just about the last straw, I think.
So now Noah Holmes and Steph Valentini both on yellow cards. So if that will come into the thinking of both coaches as this second half wears on to maybe to tinker things and avoid them being in any more danger than they already are.
Well, will we see tinkering from Chris Taylor, Nick Mann? It doesn't happen very often.
No. We know he doesn't like to make too many substitutions, especially before the 80th minute. It's usually after the 80th minute is when he turns to his bench. He likes to let the starting 11 cook for as long as possible. Kasumovic couldn't bring it under control. Bryce, Tavir, brought to ground. Another free kick, and Noah Holmes on a yellow card. Just has to be a little bit careful here, the former Western United youngster. It seems like that every time Luca Tavir gets on the ball there, because he's so dangerous, there's almost just the alarm bells are ringing. Don't let him turn, don't let him get away, because he's just got so much trickery in the middle of the park.
I can already imagine how insane it would be playing against him on a Tuesday night in indoor soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just one of those games where you go, hold on a second. You don't play Division 3 mixed. That doesn't seem right.
He's an absolute baller, Luca Tavir. Outside of the foot pass there from Aiden Bryce, trying his own Trivella long ball after the aforementioned Tavir tried one of those earlier.
Have a look at Oakleigh's bench as well, Nick. They're no short of attacking firepower. I'd love to see Adam Duratovic come on after his excellent year last year.
Yep. A brilliant year in VPL 1 for Melbourne Victory, helping them achieve promotion, back-to-back promotions at that.
For a youth team.
Yes, which is amazing to see.
Really.
Victory back in the top flight as now Trycheski out to Tavir. Avondale breaking in numbers. Tavir cutting inside, and a big intervention by Brodie Boyce. Edwards winning it back. Here's Zinni. Knowles getting back to put Zinni under pressure, but gives away the foul in a very dangerous position. But just on that, Ed, of course, Melbourne Victory back in the top flight. They're under 23s side, who kick off their season on Monday against Altona at home of the Matildas. They'll be using as a home venue this year over in Bundoora. And
great facility up there.
Fantastic facility.
Picked up the media pass from there the other day.
Yep.
Great spot.
Great spot out
Expansive
in Bundoora.
car park.
Huge car
park. Like massive car park. Bring your car. Enjoy the car park.
So, free kick in a really dangerous area here, Ed. Trycheski and Tavir both standing over this. It's going to be the right-footed Tavir who whips it in, and in the end straight into the waiting arms of Nick Feely, who looks to get play moving quickly. But it's straight to his former teammate in Emlyn Wellsmore. It's like a double change is in the offing here from Avondale. Assistant coach Jeff Fleming just passing on the numbers. It looks like it's going to be Joey Katabian and Kerr about to come on. And Kerr, Ed, he was brilliant in his first year here in NPL Victoria. Scored 9 goals last season. He's an absolute handful for defenders, especially on that left-hand side. But you'd think maybe if there's late challenge there from Boyce on Agwek, but the referee plays play on, lets it continue through Zinni. Zinni still has the ball under his spell. Floats it in towards the back post. Nodded away by Dench. Here's Knowles. I'm just going back to that earlier put under Valentini. Might be feeling the effects earlier of that earlier knock, or something to freshen things up. Introduction of Kerr as Trycheski for a throw-in. So we will see that double change now for the Avengers. And it is going to be the end of the game for Stefan Valentini. His second debut for Avondale against his former side comes to an end, as does the evening for Christian Trycheski with Joey Katabian and Kerr coming on. So it looks like with Joey Katabian coming on here, Ed, it looks like Yite Towns has been thrusted further forward to play as one of the the number 10s alongside alongside Luca Tavir, sorry.
Imagine saying that 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes. I mean, Joey Katabian making a name for himself as a striker. But
the Joe Linton role.
Yes, essentially. And he has really thrived as a number 6, which, as you said, Ed, you go back in the time. I mean, you go back to the last time Melbourne Victory were actually promoted into the top tier in 2016, where he was their number 9 and was banging in goals for fun. You say, in 2025, when Victory are promoted again, he's going to be playing as a number 6 for Avondale. They look at you like you're crazy, but he has thrived in that role. There's a free kick awarded there to the Avengers.
Fair few Avondale supporters here, Nick, as well. You know, they're maybe, hiding around, not trying to be too loud, but when Avondale have a chance or something goes awry for them, they are vocal. Now imagine with the grandstand as well.
Absolutely, having both grandstands full, and of course the hill to our right as well, cordoned off with the portables.
And then have a cop at the Northland side.
That's at the Olympic Village. It's more the Eaton Mall side, maybe? I'm trying to get my geography correct.
The Nikos side.
Towns. Here's Kerr. First involvement of the game here for Kerr, and he's lost possession. Sinclair. Able to play their way out of a cul-de-sac.
Just heading around the grounds here quickly, Nick Mann. Port Melbourne and South Melbourne. That's South Melbourne leading there 1-0. It was a red card in the 20th minute for Nathan Dibb. Apparently he was a little bit unlucky as he was pushed into a sliding tackle, but nonetheless.
Well, Nathan Dibb, of course, one of the many new signings for Port Melbourne this season.
And then at Preston, it's still 0-0 against Hume.
Kerr, that's a beautiful pass for Zinni, and even better first touch. Gets around Boyce, well played there by Zinni, cuts it back across the face. Agwek was waiting, but again Jordan Hall standing tall. That Oakleigh defence head, they're tougher than a $2 steak. They are so resilient.
You just think maybe that's what Avondale need. It's how they got their first goal, with just a little bit of individual brilliance. Stefan Zinni, you heard the oohs and ahs from the crowd behind the goal there.
Well, this front three, very, very nimble. Having Luca Tavir just buzzing around at their feet. It's an imposing sort of front four. And I wonder with Katabian's introduction, it's given Tavir maybe a little bit more license to roam. Another change in the offing here for the Avengers.
There he is.
Come back to that in a sec as Katabian wins the ball back. Towns, breaking forward, Yite Towns, still going. Towns, and the shot's blocked. Kerr brings it under control. Ooh, couldn't get it out from underneath him, and now Guest looking to spark the counter-attack. It does look like it's going to be Jackson Courtney Perkins, who has quite the pedigree here in NPL Victoria already. He was a bit of a goal machine at Port Melbourne, 29 goals in top-flight football. Just over 80 appearances. Was joined Avondale in the mid-season window last year as Katabian wins it back. Here's Zinni across the face looking for Kerr. But a bit too much on it, and it's out for a goal kick. It also looks like, Ed, we're going to get that first change for Oakleigh. And it is going to be a debut for Adam Duradovic, making his first appearance in NPL Victoria for the former Melbourne Victory youth player. It is going to be Noah Holmes, who is coming off here for the Oakleigh Cannons.
Interesting tactical move.
So going a little bit more attacking. And it's going to be Stefan Zinni who makes way here for Avondale. Jackson Courtney Perkins coming on in his place. Noah Holmes, we did mention earlier, Ed, he's on a yellow card. So going a lot more attacking and just having a look at how they're going to move things around and move the magnets. It looks like Kingsley Sinclair slotting in as a midfielder alongside Cam McGilp. So Mr. Versatile, Kingsley Sinclair, in yet another new role. And by the looks of Asar Kasumovic heading out to that left wing, Ed, and Duradovic taking up his place through the middle. So a league debut for Adam Duradovic. Only made one appearance for Melbourne Victory's A-League men's side as in the Australia Cup playoff up in Darwin in 2023.
That's a bingo card.
Yes. As Duradovic and Bryce wrestle, and it's a free kick going to Avondale, and they can break. Courtney Perkins has a load of space if Towns can find him, and a foul there by Kingsley Sinclair, and they're not happy they didn't get the earlier call.
I think they might be arguing with the referee of where that quick free kick was taken from there as well, Nick Mann.
Yeah, and there's a bit of afters here. Kasumovic involved, Kerr involved. Sorry, it's Agwek in there.
Round 1, Nick Mann. If anything escalates from here, this could make headlines.
It's a yellow card. And still a bit of afters here. Kasumovic, the goal scorer for Oakleigh, just getting wrapped up in there. Both Kerr and Agwek coming across and breaking things up a little bit. But a bit of spice in this one, Ed. It's round 1. And I'll tell you what, there's no love lost between these two teams.
There's nothing better than a bit of spice at Jack Edwards. Not talking about the Swords, Nick Mann.
Absolutely.
Crowd unhappy with the refereeing, I believe, Nick Mann.
Letting us know here.
Just overhearing a few words.
It's the beauty of being in the back of the grandstand here at Jack Edwards Reserve.
The expert eye.
Absolutely. Here's a really nice turnout here at Jack Edwards tonight for some Friday night footy. It's great to have NPL Victoria football back. So much football happening right across the 3 top men's tiers. Right here, this is the NPL Victoria match of the round as well on the Victoria page. Knowles flicking it over the top looking for Guest, and Bryce again winning that header. So imposing in the air.
Oh,
so almost a bit of a dangerous challenge there from Knowles. Sinclair under pressure from Towns, and Agwek winning back possession, but Jacob Tratt just unmoved in the middle of the park, and he does well to get past Agwek, and he's still going. And a free kick awarded.
Gee, there was a very good advantage there, Nick Mann.
And again, they wanted to play the advantage again, and they're not happy because Ross Clark has called it back.
Tough one for the referee. 2 or 3 challenges he had to ride there to get through it. Looks like there will be a card here as well. I believe for Joey Katabian.
Yep. Tell you what, Ed, Jacob Tratt.
He's quality.
He's absolutely quality. There's a reason why he was on A-League's books for so long, and a trusty servant for many, many different teams. Spent some time in India as well for Odisha.
Oh, okay.
In the Indian Super League. Ross Clark just getting things ready to restart. Just under 20 minutes plus stoppages remaining in this one. Knowles into the area, and it's headed away by Katabian. Big challenge there between Boyce and Tavir. And Boyce again going in, lunging in to win possession. Duradovic bringing under control. And Brody Boyce not afraid to go in for the sliding.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Midriff to midriff.
Well, making those challenges, Ed, you can, if you're not careful and you go a little bit rogue, you can get yourself in all sorts. But he did very well as Edwards over the top. Agwek bring it under control. Here's Knowles. Boyce under immediate pressure from Manny Agwek, and free kick going to the Cannons.
Manny Agwek having a few protestations there, Nick, for that challenge, but I don't think there's any arguing with that one.
He's thrown his body around since coming on Manny Agwek and getting involved since he was brought on for George Ott to start the second half.
I don't think they'll mind that, Avondale. Bring the intensity a little bit.
Long ball towards Adam Duradovic, won again by Bryce. Yite Townsend, who has just been everywhere in this second half. He has been brilliant. Bryce, Tavir, beautiful first touch. Knowles wins it back. Here's Sinclair, driving forward. Waits for some support and gets it in Brody Boyce, who has not been afraid to get stuck in this second half. Knowles, beautiful turn from Joe Knowles. Left Edwards in his way, cuts inside, but Joey Katabian getting across. Did he keep it alive? It's out for a throw-in.
It's class from Joey Katabian. You can see what Knowles was trying there. Kept his legs together. Stayed strong physically. I was just about to actually comment on Edwards, the left back, and how good he's been at shutting down Joe Knowles, but got to be careful here in the last 15 or so minutes.
So rare time he's been beaten today. Boyce, here's McGilp. And another late challenge there between Courtney Perkins and McGilp. It's been a war of attrition out there today as Guest to Sinclair. Going to feed it through. Kamara just clears it away first time.
Avondale, they're pressing up really high because I don't think they just want to be sitting back and soaking up pressure here, Nick. I think they want to get on the counter-attack, get their own hands on the ball.
Dench, who's been a bit quiet in this second half since he was really involved in the early stages of this second half. That ball hasn't really come down the left-hand side all that often. McGilp going for goal from range, and it was always speculative from Cam McGilp, who's very rarely hits the scoreboard. In fact, he's only scored 3 goals in NPL Victoria. So, the former Birmingham man trying his luck from range, but it was always going to be a tough one.
Birmingham?
Yes, he was signed from Melbourne Victory.
By Birmingham City, by Tom
Birmingham
Brady.
City, yeah. Not Tom Brady, pre-Tom Brady ownership. But yes, Cam McGilp spent some time over in England before returning to Australia. Agwek. Well played again there from both Hall and Guest. And Hall and Traded, they've barely been contested in this second half and really been under any sort of pressure. In the first half, Avondale did cause them problems, but as this game has gone on, they've settled and they've really been bothered. Edwards. Here's Towns again. Katabian. Tavir. Big challenge from Hall, but Tavir rides it. Still going here, Luca Tavir. Plays it out wide to Kerr. Has options in the middle. And he just went a little bit too wide, and it's out for a goal kick. It was well defended by Matthew Dench.
The crowd were looking for a shot there from Luca Tavir.
I think he went with the unselfish option of playing through Kerr. We know Kerr is very dangerous on that left-hand side, or on his left foot when he can cut inside on that. He's on the right and get on the left. Sorry, a bit of a tongue twister there, but he's the sort of player you don't want to let him cut on that left foot because he's very, very dangerous. It's almost the Iron Robin effect, essentially.
The inside forward, yes. Nick Mann.
I've seen him play in a myriad of different roles for Avondale since coming across. Courtney Perkins winning the header. Bryce. Here's Wellsmore. Well scouted by Sinclair. Kasumovic. Raking ball towards Joe Knowles. Good first touch, and Edwards is there to meet him again. It's been a great battle between those two all day. Hasn't been easy going for Joe Knowles in his return to the Cannons against Daniel Edwards, who he has held his own brilliantly today. Here he is, Knowles. Back to Boyce. Boyce along the deck looking for Guest, but the flag was up.
The chances are just kind of sputtering along here, Nick Mann. Nothing's really coming.
Yeah, there hasn't really been a great chance in a while of this game. A lot of half chances.
A couple of little things, but nothing clear-cut, nothing you can put down and say that a side deserves to be 2-1 up. Obviously outside of the Oakleigh goal, which feels like it happened in the first half, weirdly enough.
Agwek to Kerr. Tavir. Feeding through, looking for Courtney Perkins, but played again there by Nick Feely. Tavir and Courtney Perkins, who are very familiar with each other, former Port Melbourne Sharks teammates, now rekindled. Bit of a trio there with Daniel Edwards as well. Here's Tavir. And it's Agwek who looked to play it back to Tavir, but it just wasn't on. And they've been able to lock it in their half over the last couple of minutes. Katabian looking for Courtney Perkins and a late challenge on Boyce. That's going to be a free kick to Oakleigh. He was just a few seconds late. Fans calling for a card there for Courtney Perkins, but won't be coming for the Avondale substitute.
So there was a bit of pickle juice being thrown around the ground there, Nick.
Wonder if Emma Melsmore's feeling the pinch a little bit of round one footy.
He's passing it around too.
Yep, they're all
sharing the love.
Getting a taste of the action, Ed, because it is round one. You'd expect there to be some cramps. First game in quite a while. Of course, pre-season's one thing, but you can't replicate that in any other format. And real regular season footy with 3 points on the line. Jacob Tratt doing well to win it.
Hit that.
Still going here, Tratt. He's going on an adventure at the moment. Kamara wins it, and now Avondale can go. Here's Towns. Out wide to Kerr. They're going to have to get moving here. Tratt lumbering back in the meantime. Kerr whips it in towards the back post. Courtney Perkins chases it down. Here's Tavir. Avondale forced to recycle. Tavir. Feeding through Edwards, bombing forward from defence, and just couldn't bring it under control, and it's out for a goal kick. Avondale still have Matt Reid on the bench, of course, as centre-back, so no real attacking options on the bench for Avondale, but Oakleigh do have Harry Arneson, Roy Gregory, Luke Mensink, Jack Dayu as well on the bench, who's a centre-back as well, so I wonder if maybe we might see one of the young boys in Mensink or Gregory, or maybe even Harry Arneson. Of course, returning to Australia this year, former Brisbane Roar youth, and spending some time, as we mentioned earlier, in Wales and Northern Ireland.
Feel a bit bad for Manny Agwick when he's trying to win headers against that Oakleigh Cannons defensive duo.
There's not going to be many strikers, Ed, that can go toe-to-toe with those two physically this season. I mean, Harry Sawyer, who's obviously known for his physicality and one of the best that we saw here at NPL Victoria. Absolute handful against those defenders last season as well, goes to show. Here's Doradovic. Few step overs, still going at him, Doradovic across the face. And it's cleared away by Wellsmore. Sinclair looking to feed it through, and now Avondale can break through Tavir. A raking pass over the top. Looking to feed through Kerr. Brings it under control. Kerr cutting inside. Has Agwick in support. Feeds it to him. Agwick shot blocked. Still not cleared. Here's Tavir. Fires from range. And it's over the bar. And that was the chance there for Avondale. Kerr was in behind, but Agwick just wasn't able to get the shot away. He did the unselfish thing. But a big moment there for Avondale.
You just wanted Kerr to keep running. Maybe smash it across the far post. It's tough to tell what the angle was like from where we're standing. But a great ball and a great touch by Kerr to bring it down. And the pass into Manny Agwick maybe was just half a second late. And he was able to get closed down.
I think so. I think just that last moment, that moment of hesitation. Luca Tavir was in a great spot as well to fire from range.
Probably should have hit the target.
And it looks like we are going to get a substitution here for Oakleigh. It is going to be a debut for Harry Arneson, who will replace Oakleigh's goal scorer, Asad Kasumovic. A really strong second half showing from Kasumovic, who took his chance when it came. It was a good finish. And now an opportunity for Harry Arneson. And again, Kingsley Sinclair back on the left wing. Arneson slotting in midfield. Kingsley Sinclair has just been everywhere today.
He has.
You really wouldn't put it past him playing in the third position by the end of today, but Harry Arneson on here, the former Brisbane Roar youth captain. Tratt and Agwick compete. Agwick and Tratt just in the wars at the moment. Good collect, and now an opportunity here for Oakleigh to break. It was Arneson who broke that play up. Guest looking for Sinclair, skips around Wellsmore, has players in the middle. Just waiting a moment too long. Guest floats it in, looking for Knowles. Edwards got to head to it. And it's cleared away by Towns. Big collision there and a free kick going Avondale's way. The Dents just slowing things down. They wanted to take the free kick quickly.
They're getting thrown around here, Avondale. They're in the wars.
This is a brutal fixture. These players are going to feel it tomorrow.
It's a tough game to kind of really grasp who's on top as well.
Yeah.
Nick, because Oakleigh look like every time they go forward it's dangerous, but then Avondale just have these little moments of magic.
Even though it's only round one, Ed, it almost feels like a final. It feels like it's been played on a knife's edge. And you do get the sense, even though these two teams will meet again on May 17 in round 14 at Avenger Park, But it won't be a surprise if we see these two teams in September action later this year.
Yeah.
Whether it is a elimination, a semi, or even a grand final. Expect them to be right up there again this year. Tavir, beautiful touch. And he's still going here, Luca Tavir. Has players alongside him. Feeds through Agwek. He times his run, but the flag is up. He had the ball in the back of the neck, Manny Agwek. But just timed his run. A little bit off. And he was offside at a moment. A huge moment there for Avondale. And again, it was Luca Tavir setting it all up.
What a finish. What a finish.
It's a nice finish from Manny Agwek.
I'll encourage you to go back and have a look at the replay. We'd love to see it. Tough to tell again from this angle whether he was offside, but you thought he was there, Nick, man. Went a bit too early.
I can't tell from this angle, Ed, but just taking on what the assistant referee's decision was, they have the eagle-eye view on that far side, so trusting it from here.
Great finish.
Oh, it was a beautiful finish.
That's exactly what Manny Agwek's there for, and exactly what Luca Tavir was brought in to do as well. To add those legs through the... Keep in mind, it's the 85th minute.
Yeah.
And he's still
put
got
in
that
an
pace.
Absolute shift. He had a difficult season last year at Green Gully. But showing that form that we've seen from him here time and time again. Looking to chase this one down, Tavir. Goes for goal, Tavir, and it's blocked and it's out for a corner. But what a challenge from Joey Katabian to set that play up.
Huge.
And the desperate defending, denying Luca Tavir the go-ahead goal.
He's making a case for himself, Joey Katabian, to start next week, if I'm being honest here, Nick. Because he's just won every ball. He's won every battle. He's added something new to this Avondale midfield in the second half.
Kerr standing over this corner. Can Avondale manufacture an opportunity from this? McGill clears it away at the near post. Well played by Wellsmore to turn his man. Goes for a long-range effort, Emlyn Wellsmore. We know he can hit them from range, but that was always going to be speculative.
Avondale on top now, Nick.
Yep.
They're on top. Oakleigh are pushing forward, but then they've got no legs on the counter-attack. They've got no running back. It feels like if Avondale beat one player in the midfield or in defence, they're in. It
feels like it's Luca Tavir who's taking this game by the scruff of the neck and looks likely every single time he gets forward that he is going to be the man to break this game open and get that all-important winner for Avondale. But Oakleigh, still time, plenty of quality in the attacking third. And there's still plenty of time in this one to find that all-important winner. Tavir and McGill collide again. It's been an ongoing battle all day. No free kick going Avondale's way. Guest. Here's Sinclair. Feeds through Dench. Just couldn't bring it under control and collides there with Kamara. And it's out for a goal kick. Just a good shield there from Kamara to see that one out.
Quality shield.
Almost like drawing a screen, almost a reverse screen in that moment.
Someone who's been a little bit quiet today, Nick, is Joey Guest. Maybe hasn't been the game for him to be able to capitalise on. It's been so fast-paced. There hasn't really been that little half spaces or little turning moments for him to just capitalise on something.
But as we know with Joe Guest, Ed, all it takes is one moment. He can create something out of nothing. And it looks like we are going to get another change for Oakleigh. And it does look like Luke Mensink is going to be coming on, the youngster, for only his 8th appearance for Oakleigh's senior side. So it is going to be Luke Mensink who is coming on here for Oakleigh, their 3rd substitution. So it is going to be the end of the game for Cameron McGill, who's put in a big shift in the middle of the park. It's been a great battle alongside Luca Tavir all game. And as a result, Kingsley Sinclair's got the instruction again, back into the double pivot, and it looks like Mensink thrown forward for a bit of attacking impetus.
Some incredibly small shin pads.
So the youngster Luke Mensink coming on here, 7 substitute appearances last year for the Oakleigh Cannons. The youngster getting his chance here. A few minutes to go. What a moment it would be for him if he's able to pop up here, Ed, and hit the scoreboard. Ball's turned over. Agwek. Towns. Got the ball out from underneath him. Still going. Goes to ground. No free kick. And now Oakleigh can break. Jacob Tratt bursting forward. Has Doradovic in support. Plays it through to him. Duranovic still going. Feeds it out wide. Mensink! And it's saved. Manos got down and made the stop. And what a moment with his first touch that would have been for the youngster.
Going to be honest, Nick, man, if that had gone in, I think there would have been a riot at Jack Edwards Reserve. Because from my angle, Yite Towns was held back. He was massively held. The referees let a lot of things go tonight for the good of the game, but that maybe was one too far.
Avondale looking to go again. Tavir. Courtney Perkins. Tavir, beautiful touch. Playing it out wide to Edwards. Cross is blocked. It's been some game, and if Luke Mensink was able to score that goal there with his first touch, it would be his first goal for Oakleigh, I think the roof would have come off this place in this grandstand more so as Tavir. Courtney Perkins. Back to Tavir in a shooting position. Spinning and going. Goes for goal. The shot's blocked, deflected, and Feely makes the save. Look at Tavir, he just finds space out of nowhere.
He's the X factor here for Avondale, Nick, and they've looked to him for almost every opportunity in this second half.
That is an absolute roost from Nick Feely looking for Duranovic, and now Arneson wins the second ball. Here is Mensink. Looking to make something happen here, the youngster. Well played there by Emlyn Wellsmore to win it back. Avondale looking to go. Agwek. Control there from Manny Agwek. Playing it forward, and there will be, Ed, 5 minutes of added time here. So plenty of time to find the winner, and it feels like, well, I'm not complaining we're getting 5 more minutes, Ed, because I feel like this game is worthy of all the extra time it needs.
Neither team comes with a draw here either, Nick.
So, still 1-1. Luka Tavir scoring the opening goal for Avondale. Asaka Sumovic with the equaliser just after half-time. Both teams have had chances to find the winner. Is someone going to be able to find it in this stoppage time period? Wellsmore along the deck looking for Agwek, and again Jacob Tratt marshalling things brilliantly. Got a foot in there at the key moment.
Jacob Tratt has to be man of the match.
He's been brilliant
so far, unless something crazy happens.
I'll tell you what,
even that chance that Oakleigh had before, you know,
it's all him getting forward and setting that play up. So, Kerr standing over this corner again. What can he do from this set piece? She's stepping away now, and instead it's going to be... It's Tavir who floats it in. Kamara got a head to it. Tratt nodding it. Looked like from our angle almost towards
goal. It really did.
But it was a little bit safe for the end. Out for another corner. So, another chance here for the Avengers. Corner taken quickly. Tavir whips it across the face. Kamara! Kalaloo Kamara stepping up and nodding home the potential winner for the Avengers. Scenes on the Avondale bench. Only his third goal for Avondale, but what a moment for the centre-back. And the visitors lead in second half stoppage time.
It's an incredible ball from Luka Tavir. As we said earlier, Nick Mam, he's been the X factor. He's been the man who's made the chances. He fires one in on his left foot, and the header was sublime. Kept it down, kept it on target, bounced into the roof of the net. And we've been saying all second half, Nick, Avondale have had just a little bit of extra spice to their opportunities, to their chances. And it's the X factor that's got them, unless something crazy happens at the end, the win.
Well, can Oakleigh respond again? That was a perfect header, Ed. You don't stop those.
No.
Nodding it into the ground, getting that sort of velocity that took it up off the ground and gave Nick Feely no chance. And the goal coming from one of the most unlikeliest of sources, Kalaloo Kamara. His third goal for Avondale. And the centre-back.
Thunderous, really.
Oh, it was you could hear it from here. The ball just, the way it rocketed off the turf. And, of course, the assist had to come from none other than Luka Tavir. Mensink looking to chase this one down. He goes to ground. Collision there from Wellsmore. His former teammate Wellsmore wins it and clears it away. There's still time for Oakleigh to find an equaliser, but they need to get moving now. Mensink looking for Duradovic. Ball not cleared yet. As Ross Clark said, it's out for a goal kick, so more pressure seconds off the clock, and Matty Reid is about to come on here for Avondale to shore things up defensively.
Well, I think I do now have to change my player of the game here, Nick. From Trat to Nick to Luca Tavir.
Goal and assist, he's certainly right up there. So, of course, for these two sides, Oakleigh on the road up next against Green Gully, Friday night footy. And Avondale at home next week against Port Melbourne on Saturday afternoon at Avenger Park. As here he is, Luca Tavir. What a shift, what a debut for Avondale. Coming off here to an applause from the Avondale fans. A brilliant performance from him. And Matty Reid coming on in his place. He's going to be a player to watch this year, Ed. Matty Reid coming on to shore things up. They're going to a back five. No risk taken here, Ed. Matty Reid, good to see him out there early in the season. He's missed so much footy over the last couple of years. And he is a player that can certainly be impactful for this Avondale team defensively, having him with Bryce and with Kamara, of course, who scored that all-important goal. Hall sending it long. Edwards winning the header. Still work to do here for Avondale. Time still for Oakleigh to potentially grab an equaliser. Boyce over the head of Duradovic. Edwards sends it into the night sky.
There's just so many white shirts back now, Nick. It's going to be tough for Oakleigh to find space. They're going to need something really special to pull something out here.
See Jacob Tratt lumbering forward from the back here, Ed. Joe Knowles brings it under control. Kerr getting back and clears it away. It's Arneson chasing it down. Fitting it all the way back to Feely. Sends it long. Tratt got ahead to it. And that's out for a goal kick. More time comes off the clock for the visitors, who are closing in on sweet, sweet revenge. It's been almost around 5 months for them that they've had to wait. They had to stew on that semi-final defeat to Oakleigh. And Oakleigh, of course, going on to win that grand final against South Melbourne. But the perfect start for Avondale to this season if they can hang on. And that's that. The Avengers are off the mark. What a game of football to start the season. A game befitting of a semi-final rematch. Really was a heavyweight bout. Avondale coming away with the 2-1 win. Luca Tavir firing Avondale into the lead before Asar Kasimovic brought the cannons level. The champions were right back in this game after half-time. But at the death, it was Tavir again who put it on a platter for Kalalu Kamara to be the hero and nod home the win for the Avengers, who exact semi-final revenge after that defeat last year back in September at Avenger Park. And they start the season with 3 points. A loss on the opening day for Oakleigh, but it is only round one, Ed. There is still 25 more rounds and plenty more football for both of these two teams. But you expect that both these teams will be right up there again come September. Ed, your thoughts on a very entertaining 90 minutes?
Well, yeah, you're exactly right, Nick, man. The first half was interesting. First 15 minutes, as you mentioned, punches thrown, chances galore, not very possession-heavy football. The last 25 minutes of the half, they settled in a little bit, things slowed, and I think Avondale kind of came to grips with the fact that maybe that didn't suit their play style. So coming out in the second half, they tried to instigate that again, but then Oakleigh got that goal back. And Avondale, with the substitutions that they made, Manny Agwek, huge influence on the game. Kerr on that right-hand side, just adding so much pace, so much versatility. And it was the pressure overall that I think just topped them over the line, Avondale. And Luca Tavir, again, the quality.
Absolutely.
You could see it throughout the whole 90 minutes. The ball over the top, the thunderous header, and the reaction from the Avondale bench, from the Avondale fans, shows how much this win means to them.
Well, they've started the season in the perfect way. Exactly how they would have hoped when this fixture came out and they saw Oakleigh round one, an opportunity to exercise the demons from that semi-final. And they start the season with all 3 points. They're back in action at home next week against Port Melbourne on Saturday. Oakleigh on the road against Green Gully on Friday night. But of course, this is a long season, many twists and turns along the way, and it's been great to have your company here at Jack Edwards Reserve. We do apologise again for the technical difficulties in the first 20 minutes, but thank you for tuning in to this NPL Victoria match of the round here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Signing off, Nick Tabano and Ed Gooden. The final score, Avondale 2, Oakleigh 1.
I wanted to win. Oh, yeah, I wanted someone because